Hi folks, and welcome back to another day here at Straight Shooting. We're going to be going over trade-in values as I was talking about last time. I'm going to help you out with you finding out what your vehicle's worth and be able to make it easier on you and have a realistic number before you show up at the dealership and they crush your dreams sometimes. So let's take a look into this. First thing that we're going to want to do is, of course, go out and take a look at your vehicle. I mean, really go out there and walk your vehicle just like the dealership's going to do. The manager or the salesperson is going to go out there with you and walk that car, and also they're probably going to have the manager drive the vehicle to make sure that the condition of the drivability is good as well. Now, when you're doing this, take a look at the vehicle, really look at the vehicle, see if there's any scratches, dings, dents. Something that's detracting from the value. Is it something, a minor scratch or a little ding or something like that that can be fixed simply, versus like if it's a major one where it's going to cause paint work or the dent guy's coming out there and pulling some serious dents out of the vehicle. So take a look at those things. Also, while you're doing that, get in the car, turn your wheel all the way over. That's what I used to do when I appraised a vehicle, so I can see the inside of your tires. Check your tires. See if it's wearing on the inside, if it's wearing on the outside, because let's face it, if it's wearing on the inside, there's an alignment issue they're going to have to fix. Also, they're going to have to replace tires if they're going bald, because it's not safe to go and sell it to the next person if the condition of it is bad and it's a hazard. Also, when you're looking at your tires, check the sidewalls. You'll be able to see if there's any type of cracking or anything to it. If there's any type of cracking or anything to this, that's a chemical rotting or from the heat dry rotting those tires. That's something that will be replaced as well by the dealership. So take a look at those things. Also, now when you're doing this, check the paint condition of your vehicle. Is it something where the paint's fading? Is it flaking or chipping the clear coat? Does it just need simply a good waxing and maybe a buff or a polish? Take a look at that. If it's something you can do, you might as well do it. It's going to help out in the long run, because if it looks great, that's going to help out with the value of it. Now also, while you're doing this, checking the condition of the outside, check the condition of the inside. Is there any stains, any tears? Is the leather cracking? Is it something like it's got a stain in the seat and you can get it out? Do that. Do it, because they're going to depreciate the value of your vehicle. Also, is there like, something you can wipe down, do a little shine? If you can clean your car up, clean it up, because it's going to be more presentable. Let's face it, if it presents better, it's worth more money in the long run. If it's something you can't fix, the dealership's going to get it fixed. It just might depreciate the value of your vehicle a little bit. Now also, check your AC while you're in there. Is it blowing cold? How long does it take for it to blow cold? Because if you're in the South here, that's the big thing, especially in the summertime. Don't go bringing a car in with the AC not blowing cold and not expect to have it depreciate in value, because the next guy isn't going to buy a car with AC not blowing cold, so we're going to fix it. So take a look at that, see if it's something that just needs to be recharged, or if it's an AC compressor or something like that, then we know we're in for more than we bargained for. The dealership will fix it for you when you're trading it in. Just be expecting the depreciation. Also, do a little quick test drive with your car. Turn the wheel back and forth. If you feel any slop in there in the suspension or the steering, that's something they're going to take a look at and do the same thing. Also, if there's any squeaks, rattles, stuff like that is what they're going to be looking for. Also, the drivability of it, as in, how does the car accelerate? Is it smooth? Is it easy? Does the engine struggle? Has it got any knocking? Any noises coming from it? Also, the transmission, how does it shift? Those are the things they're going to be looking for, folks. So you should look into it first. That way, when you're going through and building a value, which we're going to talk about next, you're building a proper value and you know what your vehicle condition is and what you're getting into. So now that you've done this, go ahead and you're going to have to look at if there's an accident on your vehicle. If you bought it used and you don't know, you can check this online. That or CarMax and places will be able to help out with getting your Carfax report or your auto check. You're going to need to find out. Now, if you know there's an accident on it and stuff, it's depreciated. It will, because the next guy going to buy it doesn't want to buy a car with an accident. And if it is, he's not going to be paying, premium price for a vehicle that's been in an accident. So be real with yourself on that too. Now, to help you out a little bit, if you have been in an accident with your vehicle, talk to your insurance company when you get in this accident and ask them about a compensation for depreciation check. they will be able to do this for you. I helped my mom out with it when she was in her last major accident. She got a compensation check for the depreciation of her vehicle because it was a decent wreck. They'll know on the Carfax or Auto Check if it was a minor fender bender. If it was a major one, it's going to say disabled and towed away on there. That means that it was a serious accident. You couldn't drive away anymore. Those are the ones we got to look for and worry about, because it can depreciate 1,000. It can depreciate thousands depending on what you're driving. So take a look at that. Now, once you've done this, you've done your homework and you've evaluated your vehicle, take a look into what it's worth. Go online, see what your car is selling for. Go on and check out Auto Trader, Cars.com, Car Gurus is my favorite. You'll be able to see exactly what they're selling for your vehicle. And then also, while you're doing that, take a look at KBB, your Kelley Blue Books, your Black Book, and your Edmunds. Edmunds is horrible, it's always high, but if you look at those three, you'll get an estimate on what your car you can expect to get for it. And be honest, your car is not in excellent condition. The only cars in excellent condition are cars that you buy and you turn right back around and bring them in, because that is an excellent showroom condition. Cars aren't that way. If you put thousands of miles on them, they're not in excellent anymore. You're never going to get excellent condition. Most cars are in fair condition. Good means it was garage kept and it is pretty much close to flawless. It's just got miles to it. So be honest when you're doing your appraisals online. Come up with a real number which you can expect, instead of shooting for the sky and having high hopes. And the dealership is not going to do that for you, because they're in it because of money. That's what they do, is they're there to make money. They're going to come up with a real number for you, and they're also going to look at what is called MMR, or Manheim Auctions. I went over this in the last video. They're going to check. Auto Trader provides something that I always used and a lot of dealerships used when I was in the business. It is something where they just scan your VIN number. It gives them all of this information all at once, and then they can also check what it's selling for at the auction. What's the last 10 vehicles that have sold in the area within about a 200 to 300 mile radius that have sold in that kind of mileage, that condition and everything at the auction for. So that's what they're going to look for in there. So you should take a look at it first. Now, MMR isn't something that's accessible to everybody. It's usually only dealerships that can get it. If you need to, go to your CarMax. CarMax will actually do an appraisal, and they will buy your vehicle without having to buy a vehicle from them. So you can get a wonderful little piece of paper that'll tell you what it's worth, just in case their value's higher and the dealership won't give you that much money. You can still reference that and use it in the long run. Now, you've taken a look at all this information. You've seen what they're selling your car for in the market. You've got a good idea what this thing's worth. Now, when you're going in there, take a look at this vehicle again. Make sure it's all up to spec. Look at also what your vehicle is worth, depending on if you owe anything too. Do you want to see, if you've got a loan on that vehicle still? If you don't, then hey, you're good. You've got equity in this thing. You're buying a car today, no matter what. Now, if you owe a lot more money than what it's worth, you got to take a look at this, folks. Is this something, a good educated decision for you to go buying a vehicle? Also, the car you're buying is X amount of dollars, and you're also adding this into it. Banks sometimes it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle to be able to finance that car, because you're trying to add a lot of stuff into it. Now, if it's a new vehicle, if you got a lot of negative equity, go new vehicle. New vehicle with those rebates and stuff that I was talking about in the last video, that'll eat up negative equity, putting this into a buyable situation for the bank. Because the bank is going to make sure that you're not going above 100% of the vehicle's value. Sometimes they'll let you go a little bit 120 if you get a good bank, 130 with good credit. But they're going to want to make sure you stay within a threshold, because it's not a smart decision for them. They're making educated decisions, because if some reason that car, they have to repossess it, they're not going to want a car that's worth, $20,000 and you owe 30. That's stupid. They're not going to do that. So take a look at that. Be real with yourself on that too before you go wasting your time. You might want to just keep your car for a little bit, or change gears. Look at a new car versus used car. Rethink things a little bit. So take a look at those things. And also, as I said in the last video, check with your banks, your local banks. If you're a credit union member, check with them. To be able to find out what kind of rates you're looking at and stuff, because there's no rebates on used vehicles. There might be a little bit of wiggle room on them now. wiggle room on used cars isn't like back in the day. With online buying cars, dealerships have to be super aggressive. There's only usually about, on average, I'd say probably 2,000, unless they really got a good deal trading it in before the last customer. They're going to only have $2,000 of wiggle room, maybe $1,000, depending on what you're looking at and how long they've had it on the lot. So that's another thing to look at. Get your ducks in a line and stuff when you're before you go talking to the dealership about it, and find out what you can do at your local credit unions and stuff. And as I said in the last one, once you get that number and you're okay with them checking as well, they can take a look into it. Now, what we're going to do here is the next video. I'm going to be talking about purchasing of a used car. I'm going to help you out with figuring out the real values for those, and that way you're not wasting your time once again, because this is what I'm doing, is trying to help you not waste your time, because time is valuable, and you're also not wasting the dealership's time at this same time doing everything else. We don't want to waste time, kick tires, and you got better things to do with your life, I'm sure. So if you've got any comments or anything, please put them in the bottom. I'd love to hear what you got to say. Any other ideas of what I could talk to you about and maybe help out with, that's what I'm here for. So hit that like button, subscribe. That's going to help me out a lot here as well. And I hope you folks have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.